Big chicken on the team one. We got ourselves Morales in that pile of people. Forsaken, Layson, and RP also in that pile running as a squad. Elixir Chill Pills, the first one up and running versus Morales. I think a bit of a rematch between the two from the first round. AMS up for Chill Pills immediately. Does end up having to break out of his stun with an IBF. All the army of deads is in. Silence to follow. Morales with the bubble. Chill Pills just needs to find a way to escape. Actually cannot escape. He has to bunker down. Lichborn, AMZ, he needs a lot of death strikes in order to catch up here. Does sacrifice the ghoul, sacrifices everything he can just to live. Morales, however, no longer has a big immunity blowing a bubble that early means there's nothing else to keep you alive. It does go down. Just a raw damage v damage, raw power versus power, defenses versus defenses. It's literally putting everything on a line to see if you can survive the other guy. Forsaken tried to see if you can go for a grip, but doesn't get to while you're on the horse. It looks like the horse actually prevents that full. I guess horse does prevent displacement because it is a that's advanced, isn't it? So I guess grip does not work. I always thought grip works past that though. But maybe I'm just so used to like the paladin horse, which isn't like, you know, prevents movement displacement abilities or whatever. You know what? I'm also a little dumb, but I literally every time I think of a horse, I think of a pally horse. I'm like, horse should be grippable. But no, they're not. Stunned short onto Forsaken with a silence right after. Does go for a pre-AMS to try to see if he can counteract Forsaken's go. Chills Bill seeing he's in a weird spot. Is going to back up out of there. He has the advantage health-wise versus Forsaken. However, Forsaken still has a load of damage banked up and ready to go. Does go for a big setup. That's going to be a full apocalypse. Silence on the Chill Pills to try to see if he can put some pressure. Mad damage. Also does get himself a big proc of undead. I don't know who's undead, whose A-bomb it is. I think maybe Chill's undead. Forsaken able to go for death strikes on that bed. Back to back trying to keep himself alive. Chill Pills trying to see if he can poke in, do a bit of damage where he can. Death back used for Forsaken. He's really unable to heal. Chill Pills with an AMS. He has a little bit of a health advantage. Forsaken unable to really get a lot of healing. Executes are coming through and Chill Pills with a one last clean claw in shadows. Able to take him out. But Layson is going to be up next. Question is, does Layson give Chills a chance to recover? Looks like first aid, giving him that opportunity at the very bare minimum. Technically, we also have Murder Wing, Varka, and Light Messiah who could walk up. He's letting him get a couple of death strikes. Letting him get a few death strikes. Chills is ready to go. Layson giving Chills as much of an honorable duel as he can. Super awesome to see. Whether Layson wins or loses, he's a hero in my book. Silence out for Chill Pills. Got himself the army. Big apocalypse. Layson is aware that those pets and that apocalypse is a ton of damage. He's going to be very, very careful with it. That's a lot of undeads chasing after him. Those undeads, there's not a lot of them, but like a couple of ghouls, they're juiced out. There used to be like a bunch of undeads doing very little damage. Now there's a few and they do a lot of damage. Like very noticeable. Chills with the death pack. He wants to make sure he doesn't get stunned up. Does not actually, he does have breaks out of a stun. Lay on hands by Layson. Get himself a full health recovery. AMS still up for Chill Pills for a second here. Does give him like an in for a second. Get a couple of healing. Back it away from Layson. But a Dawn Light does connect. So Layson is switching strategy. He's not playing the big Templar build. He's playing the Dawn Light build. So he's going to be able to melt Chill Pills over time. And he's going to be able to get himself a bit of healing. Army of undeads are running in with the riders in play. Silence. Layson does get hit with an execute into a bubble. Chill Pills trying to see if he can escape the damage as best as possible while there's immunity on Layson. Does have IBF to break out of a stun. Layson does not have an answer here unless he can self-heal right now with the Wake of Ashes. Stun on all the pets. Shield defenders to keep him alive. AMS for Chills is going in for the kill if at all possible. Grip Layson back in. Does he have the execute damage? Maybe, and does get the range. Just the raw range of death coils and clawing shadows from a distance. Was not able to get himself an execute by the looks of it. That or he got dispelled or just did not proc. But is able to get a lot of healing. Wait, where are we killing him? I mean, if the other team is okay with him getting a reset like that, I'm cool with it. Big Chicken wants to make sure that he got himself a proper honorable duel. Hopefully you're not Convoke. Actually, you are Convoke. You might want to walk away from the rest of the team. Otherwise, it may Convoke into them. And I'm pretty sure you just want to set all your Convokes into Chills, right? Trinket does himself the burst. Blind on all of those other pets that he summoned up. However, the Dryad was still able to fuel the Boomkin's damage. He just sees himself a big go. Couple of huge star surges, and it may just take out Chills right here. Wraith activating the Eclipse. Mad damage to Chills. Death striking for his life to try to keep himself alive as best as possible. Another Dryad joins in with even more star surges back to back. Chills up, no help whatsoever. Neither is Chicken. AMS last second. Chicken just needs to live a little longer. Not enough physical damage to break through AMS, but the pets are in. They're just clobbering him behind the pillar. Death back to give himself a little bit more health. Execute pops up on a chicken, pops in a Convoke to try to heal, but it's just not enough. It looks like the damage from Chills with the Riders was enough to keep that health bar down. And Chills is now 4-0 into this match. It looks like RMP is letting that team give himself a full recovery, dude. Full spa treatment. Chills, even Chills got hit with a lay on hands. Is that what happened? Live inside, I was like, you know what, this is taking too long. Lay your hands. Go, our champion. The champion of Team 2. Does hit AMS immediately on that Shadow Blade's kidney shot. That is going to be able to dampen some of that shadow damage, but still, full rotation of stuns, gets Chills incredibly low. Blind trinkets out of it immediately. Full Trickster, coup de grace, slicing Chilpos into pieces. IBF barely keeping them together. But he's just not in an amazing spot right now. Like any one big hit and he's just over. He needs to find a way just to live, catch a couple of heals. I don't know if he'll going to be able to. He's got the army, AMS, but he's like physical damage still going to go through. Unless he can stun him. Cheap shot. Yeah, that is tough. I guess a rogue, I don't think it's possible. In that situation, I really don't think it is. RMP try to see if he can get himself a reset. Light Messiah, not going to let him out. Cloak and Vanish is available for Arrowless. There goes the Vanish. Got a bubble out of him. Honestly, may just want to sit in stealth. May just want to sit in stealth for like a little bit, get a bit of recovery. He's picking up the eyes, saps him immediately, trinkets out of it. No more outs and no more big immunity. I don't really know if he can maybe live a stun. Shield of Venice is not going to feel good whatsoever. Cheap shots, however, do lock him down. Does go for a rupture, trying to see if he can escape. Dawnlight is on RMP. Can go for a Vanish here. Gouge for a second. Blessing protection on a Light Messiah. RMP still has a doubt on him. Smoke bomb, try to give him some cover. I don't know if that'll be enough though. Creating a line of sight with a smoke bomb. That is helping a little. Stun. I think it might be lights here. Yeah, it's lights. I guess the Paladin is tough. It is the toughest matchup. I don't look good this season. I think Chills is definitely giving him a run for their money. Definitely giving him a run for the money. Damage apartment, they're looking very, very strong. Sorcery ability on Death Knights, however, has been pretty abysmal for a good while. Not amazing in a one-on-one encounter, but does work. Damn, I did enjoy it though. I mean, to be fair, he also did get like proper honorable duels. He got a proper chance to compete. I feel like if it played like a 5v1 Red no honor, not all the Reds have honor, unfortunately. Not all of them do. Team Lisa definitely had plenty of honor, giving Chills a chance, but yeah. Also, rareless, you do play a rogue. And like, it's our class fantasy. As a rogue player, that no one gives us honor, no one gives us a chance. People just stomp us to the ground. As soon as they see us, it's part of the class fantasy, baby. You know what I mean? That's true. That's true.